I am doing water signs. Hi there, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. Thank you for joining me. We're going to start with Cancer for the week of September, what is it, 9th? 10th? 10th, I guess. We'll say it starts on the 10th. Ooh, Son of Pentacles. So that's the page, that's the Knight of Pentacles. So this energy of the Knight of Pentacles is so interesting. Oh, it's the Eight of Pentacles. Is all about it's a very slow, calculated energy. It's grounded, it's cautious, but always successful. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Look at this beautiful spider web. Just meticulous work and attention to detail, beauty, a real craft. And the Four of Wands. Stability. Some of you, wow. I love it. The tarot's like, yep, wait a minute. Before you say anything, check the bottom. The Tower. So I feel like at some point, sometime in the past, for some of you, obviously this is a general reading, so a situation happened, and I think it was, I'm just going to look at work and finances and tangible things, that something happened that you were pretty sure was the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your life. I don't know if you got laid off of a job or fired even. It could be a relationship. This is the Marriage card. This is a solid foundation. Maybe you lost your house. You had to file for bankruptcy. Something happened that was really challenging and tough. But at this point in time, you are looking back and saying, damned if that wasn't the best thing that ever happened to me. And like the being grateful, and maybe when you were a child, your one of your like your dad or whoever was the breadwinner lost their job, and maybe you had to move, maybe you had to sell your house. It was something somewhat traumatic, and the Tower doesn't always have to be traumatic. Honestly, I know people, I've come to absolutely love the Tower. It forced a situation that wasn't as great as it seemed. It forced it to come to an end. It forced you on a different path in some way. It gave you an amazing sense, resiliency. It gave you resiliency, a perspective on things that's really served you moving forward. But it wasn't until recently that it really all came together, and you could look back and say, wow, that was in some ways it was a pivotal moment in my life that affected me actually in a very positive way. I learned how to be careful with my money. I learned meticulous attention to detail. I learned how to create a stable foundation for me and my family. I learned I needed to start saving. I learned maybe like a parent was, maybe had, something going on where they were careless with money, or something. I mean, there's so many things coming into my head. So whatever comes to your head. Or you had been careless with money. Maybe you lent someone money and they never paid you back. But you learn something very valuable from this Tower experience. Some of you could, this can be a house had a house burned down, and maybe you were all about work, 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 and money and status. And when that happened and you lost all your possessions, but your family was okay, or your pets or whatever, and you were like, this was not a tragedy because all of us are safe. Like, it gave you, or someone you're with, maybe there was a car accident, but they were okay. And it was like this wake up call of what's truly important. But it also gave you some sort of understanding of patience and lack of instant gratification. And that if you can sort of stay the course and keep steadily working on something, it can have a huge payoff and benefit moving forward. Now, I know a lot of you guys like to hear about love. I mean, again, this is the marriage card. It could be that, you had a breakup. Someone came home and said, I'm done, and dumped you, dumped your butt, which has happened to me. And it felt like, and it was a tower moment, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm so glad I'm not with that person. And it's made way for this new relationship. So I see you potentially meeting this person at work. I see this being potentially someone that you've known for a long time, and they were friend zoned for some reason, and maybe you don't even know why. Maybe they were with someone when you met, or you were with someone, or you worked too closely with them, and now maybe they're in a different department, or you're in a different department, or you're separated enough that you could date each other. Maybe this came up for someone last week. That person that always has like a crush on someone, and they always have a crush on everyone, so you can never like date anyone because they decided they like everyone. Like, yeah, I don't know. But whatever the barrier that was there, or you just had the understanding, maybe they weren't the type you always liked. Maybe I don't know, maybe you like blondes, and he has dark hair. I don't know. So you kind of didn't notice, but you're having this aha moment. It's like, this guy is awesome, and look at all the jerks I've dated in the past, or this girl is so cool and down to earth, and you just get it now. And you're both willing to work on the relationship, or you both have the same types of hobby. Like, you both are really into hiking or art or movies or something that you guys love to do, also brings you together. And this is a relationship that can go the distance. I mean, this is a marriage card. This is a solid foundation. You're starting with something more substantial than attraction, which often fades. There's a mutual caring and respect for each other. Okay, let's move on to Scorpio. How are you, Scorpio? Is that this? The candle kind of smells nasty. Tangerine lemon. Doesn't really smell like tangerine lemon. Anyway. Sorry, the cards can be a little loud when I clink them on the table, so you may want to be mindful of the volume, especially if you have headphones on. All right, Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. And look, this little one wants to poke the Death card. That's your card, right, Scorpio? The Sun card. Look at that. And the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Well, those are some nice cards. Justice. Holy moly. So 3 major arcanas and the Ten of Pentacles. This card, is, for me, if I had to give it a key word, would be richness. And so, yes, on a superficial level, that is money. So definitely money coming in. But richness is, think of a rich dessert. There's depth to it. There's more to it than there's depth to it. That's what I'm trying to say. This is about many generations, inheritance, things you inherit more than just money. You inherit values and legacies and things like that as well. Some of you will inherit something from a relative. This may have gone through probate court if the person didn't have a will. So get a will, even if you think you don't need one. So that can be it going through the court process. This could be a divorce being finalized, something like that. And the money part's finally figured out. Maybe someone was like after your inheritance, and or you had like a property that had been in the family forever and the other person wanted it. Why do people do that? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of cases where maybe it makes sense, but I mean, I just don't see why people. Wasn't that like, sorry, I'm putting a I just left the reading. I'm putting a sweatshirt on. Like Courtney Love's got divorced, or someone, or her daughter, and they took like something of Kurt Cobain's. Just like, yeah, it's not your dad. Like, the hell? I don't know. That's all getting sorted out. I mean, you have incredibly positive cards, so. There is a realization for you this week about what's truly important, and it's not the finances. It's that richness of life, the richness of your relationships, the legacy, how you conduct yourself, how people will remember you when you're gone. Excuse me. And it's like you're transforming your life, because very few people are going to actually have inheritance, right? You're transforming your life to really make sure that you are living like you think, okay, when I pass, what do I want my legacy to be? That's a very Scorpio thing to think about. And you're like, yeah, I need to do some adjusting then, because I'm not really sure people would say that about me. and it's an aha moment. It's real, things become really clear, and you're like, oh, okay, all right. And Scorpio can do anything. So you're like, I'm on it. I got it. I'm changing. I'm making it happen. And you're a fixed sign, but you're like, nope, got it. Once I set my mind to something, that stubbornness really kicks in a super positive way. You are going to make it happen. Some of you may be setting up a will. Some of you may be getting married and having known someone that went through all these issues, and making sure up front you guys have figured out, maybe you're both coming second marriages with money, with kids, and you're hashing all that stuff out ahead of time, which is super smart to do. Because I've seen that tear families apart, where the new one person maybe comes in with money and the spouse is like, going to outlive the other one, and then it's all going to go to her kids or something. It's just, you guys can figure out whatever you want to figure out as a couple, but being upfront about it and thinking about it, and not just letting it sort of figure itself out, is a good way to prevent resentment. Just a lot of positive finances, child support, those things getting figured out. But again, this feeling of transformation and really seeing something clearly that you had not seen before, and understanding the depth and richness on an even deeper level. And you guys are deep, even deeper level. Um, but it's going to bring about balance and a change in you again in a super positive way. It's kind of out there, guys, but all right, let's move on to Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. How are you, Pisces? Let's take this one. The Devil. Ace of Wands. Knight of Wands. Okay. The Moon. Okay. So the Devil, the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Wands. This is like you meet someone and you guys are like there's so much chemistry and attraction here. It's like out of control. Like you guys are just so drawn to each other. You can't even believe it. And you're just going to be like instantly together. It can be scary because you're like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do with all these feelings. They're so intense. When you have the Magician, that's like in the Chariot. Wow. What else is under there? Father of Swords. So I love the Horse. One caution, I mean, these are beautiful cards. One caution though is be careful about the all or nothing, the going all in too fast. There's something tempting here, and that you may wake up, a month or two later and be like, damn, what did I get myself into? I mean, that's just going to be the honeymoon period does not last, right? Not in a job, not in a friendship, not in a relationship, or whatever situation, because all the expectations and, oh my God, this is the greatest thing and everything about this is perfect and everything I ever wanted is, unrealistic. So this is just asking you to stay more balanced. Don't all of a sudden drop all your friends and move in with this person and those types of things. Like there's a little bit of recklessness I'm feeling, actually. Because of this Devil and the Moon card. Like something is not as it seems. I mean, if you think about being outside, you've been outside at night with the moonlight and it can cast funny shadows, things can be twisted and you just can't see as clearly as you can in the light of day. And so you're not maybe seeing something clearly, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's totally bad, but you're not completely grounded in reality. So this is the sign of Capricorn, which is an earth sign, a grounded sign, but the devil's in the details. And there may be some details that once you find out, it's hard. You meet someone, you think, oh my God, they're the best thing since canned beer. And this is it. This is the one. And then you might find out they don't want kids and you want kids. So it's not necessarily like you find out they're a pedophile or something, but you find out there's an incompatibility. And had you taken the time to get to know them a little better, you may not have jumped so quickly. Or don't ignore those types of, they're not even red flags, they're just taking the time to get to know each other to make sure that it has the possibility of working out. Because if you want kids, you've always wanted kids your whole life, unless you're going to be the type where think, oh, I'm going to change their mind. I don't know. Maybe you're Amal Clooney and you can change someone's mind, but I wouldn't. It's kind of, what are you wasting your time? You just have to really think about that. I can't tell you. Work, okay, for work, you are so good at the details, that you're going to get a new job opportunity, a promotion. Maybe you're going to start your own consulting business because you're just like, I can do this. I can start my own business and do a better job than where I work because I am, it's okay. You can say you're awesome at what you're doing, um, but you're scared about it. But this is a week of action. So you're going to, instead of being up in your Pisces head, um, like the moon energy can remind me a little bit of Pisces, that sort of dreamy, watery energy. You're going to be like taking steps taking action this week to make things happen. Put your resume out there. Again, don't accept a job without reading the fine print. Maybe you're like, oh my God, this job, it's going to be awesome. But you don't really ask all the right questions because you're just so like, yes, this is it. And I don't like my other job and I'm rushing into this new thing. And you find out, oh, by the way, it's an exempt position and you're expected to work 45 to 50 hours a week and check your email on the weekends. And you're like, whoa, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like, wait, huh? So that type of energy. But this is, pretty, pretty passionate energy here. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you have a great week. Thank you. Bye.